Hey folks, so those of you who have been following along with this journey up and on, you'll know that over the past year especially, I've been turning to focus more on my ancestors, especially my grandmother. And the reason why I started doing this is because I know I needed help. Um, the situation for activists of a certain sort in this country, it's disastrous. I mean, we're in a serious crisis situation where people like me are being intentionally isolated and marginalized because of our political opinions. And these opinions are threatening to those in power. So, while dealing with this isolation and this marginalization, I needed help. That's it. That's really what it comes down to. And I started thinking back over everything that happened, and I realized that wait a minute, all of this shit that's happening in our communities, it drove a wedge between me and my family, especially my grandmother. I've been talking a lot about Victor Klemperer. You know, this is his book, The Language of the Third Reich, which is really important. I discovered this book 2 months after my grandmother passed away. And I never really connected it with her until recently because, wow, I mean, why would I? I didn't have the information. And the reason why I didn't have certain information is because she intentionally kept things from me. And I understand now why. But when I thought back about this book and what it meant to discover this book a few months after she died, I understood something because she's the one who taught me to read. And I was just going to focus on that. Her teaching me to read, her fostering my interest in literature and learning and nurturing that. But I realized there's a deeper level to the situation. And it has something to do with what happened in 2023 when I was in Germany. My relationship had broken down. I was in Berlin trying to figure out something. And I was in a similar situation of needing help. And after years of studying these diaries and learning about the lives of Victor and Ava Klemperer, something clicked. In Dresden, the same city where these people were living, the same city I've been studying, where all these different things happened. By the way, it's a great place to learn about fascism and Nazism. Look at Dresden. What I began to understand is that there's something else going on there that's important. And it was Ava Klemperer, Victor's wife, who kind of clued me into this with her line in the diary, "A Red Indian Fate." And when she said this about a Red Indian fate, they were having a conversation about Palestine. They were talking about all of their friends and neighbors and people they knew who were being pushed out of German society by Nazism, who were being literally erased from their own culture, their own society. And many people were turning towards Zionism, turning towards Palestine as a lifeline because they felt they had no other choice. But Ava Klemperer understood, and so did her husband. They understood what it really meant. It was a continuation of colonialism, a continuation of these horrible things that have been happening for a long time. And so thinking about a Red Indian fate, somehow I understood something about Dresden and what lives in Dresden. Because I went to see it literally a few days before I left the country in 2023. It's just, the whole thing is just like a little bit mind-boggling. In Dresden, there's this Mayan text that was stolen from Chichen Itza back in the 1500s by a conquistador. And it was brought to Austria, Vienna, as tribute to a king. This ancient Mayan text There's something powerful about this text. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something powerful about it. I could feel it when I was there looking at it. It sat gathering dust for a few hundred years in Austria before a German librarian came to Austria, Vienna, found this text, and brought it back to Dresden, where it still lives today. And what I began to understand is that somehow my relationship with my grandmother is what put me on the path to understanding the importance of this. And it's how she raised me. And it has something to do with this ancestry mystery that I'm grappling with right now, knowing that I'm related to certain people around here, but they're not going to say anything because whatever they're involved in, whatever their side of the family is involved in, they don't want to deal with it. And then, of course, there's the issue of money as well. Black radicals like me are not supposed to get any money. But what I came to understand is that my grandmother purposefully did not tell me certain things because she did not want me to align with whiteness. She did not want me to align with whatever these people were involved in. When I was growing up, she taught me that I was part indigenous. And it's kind of funny, I'm laughing because a lot of black people have this happen in our families. We're told that we're part indigenous even if we're not. And I think this happens sometimes because what would be the point of us aligning with our European ancestry? These people don't give a shit. They're not going to do anything. And I think this is why my grandmother told me what she told me, because she did not want me chasing after people, trying to get things from them, trying to make the case to them, because she knew what would happen. She knew they would not give me anything. She knew they would not do anything. So she had me align myself with indigeneity. And aligning myself with indigeneity is what has led me to this point, even though it's been difficult. But I know it's going to be worth it. And one reason why I know it's going to be worth it is through this concept I discovered recently called nigredo. And there's something about this concept of nigredo as it relates to alchemy and as it relates to the concept of epistemicide and all these mysterious things that colonialism and the Catholic Church and the European Church and all of these different things have sort of swept aside. I really do believe now that what this project I'm working on is about bringing those things out of the shadows. And it took me a long time to actually focus on or zone in on what is the actual thing I need to be doing through this whole process. And it wasn't until I started focusing on this relationship with my grandmother that I was able to see clearly what I needed to do because of the way she raised me. It's, this ancestral stuff it's powerful. It's insane. And there are people around here who are threatened by this. That's why I've had people screwing with me. So through this process of nigredo, like breaking down, using this sort of like elemental material to create something new, that's what we're doing here. And for me, it really circles back to, I don't know, man. Like this mysterious thing that's going on. Why did I come into contact with this codex? What did this whole thing mean in Germany, my whole complicated relationship with Germany? I think what it means is that this Mayan text that lives in Dresden needs to be returned to where it came from. And somehow I need to use my own life, my own story, my own whatever, as a way of helping to make that happen. And this is why I am starting this whole process with finally getting my grandmother the tombstone that she deserves, because I think what's happening here is important, and she has been so influential. I didn't want to just run out and buy her a cheap $500 tombstone. I think she deserves something more than that. And in the next series, I'm going to be talking more about my relationship with my grandmother, where we were living, how we were living, all the complicated things that happened, and why it took me so long to find my way back to her. But I'm finally doing it. So check the link and please donate if you can. Thank you.